What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Happy Tuesday night. We are like we're just cruising. I don't know. I'm like my mind is kind of like in a bunch of different places right now. But we're gonna have a great Tuesday night. Thanks for everyone already joining. Definitely throw in the chat where you're watching from, and what you're excited about right now. So. Yeah, it looks like we already got a bunch of people here. What's up, Justin, Nathan, Alex, Michael, Christy, Chuck, Cheryl, and Snowman? What's up? Let me know again where you guys are watching from, and I'll be right back. All right, what's up? We got Nathan was the first comment tonight, and whoa, that's small. Oh no. I hope that's not. Let me see something real quick. Yeah, no, I don't know why it resized the comments so small. I'm gonna pull you up again, Nathan, so we can all see your comment. What's up from the Sunshine Coast, Australia? Having a sneaky listen while at work. That's awesome. What's up? Justin is in the house. Hello, everyone from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Love the watch review. Thank you so much. For those of you that don't know, on the channel right now, live. Oh, I also noticed one thing. See if you guys can spot in the background what's missing right now. Those of you that watch the channel today, thank you so much for watching the review of the Garmin Enduro. That was a really intense video to put together. There was so much, I had so much B-roll and so much just so much stuff going on during that video. And I also really wanted to try to do a little bit of a different video from everyone else that had already posted their Enduro reviews like months ago. I had it like pretty early on, but just with everything that was going on, just like couldn't get around to filming a video like right at the beginning. So anyway, it's up now. My long-term review after 6 months of using it. I think it's a really, really great watch. But I've also got this one right here, the Coros Vertix 2. I've had this one for about a week. It's funny, like, thank you, Coros, for sending it out. Unfortunately, it showed up like right after the IT100. So it is what it is. I told him, I was like, my last race of the season is over. Maybe my last race. I don't know. Maybe I'll pick up something here before winter is really like upon us. But I told him, I was like, I'm basically done. Also, I'm injured. And yeah, so I only have it for a couple weeks and then I have to send it back. But I've been trying to do as much as I can with it. A bunch of different stuff, testing it out. So yeah, it is what it is. What's up? Alex Williams is here, tuning in from Beckley, West Virginia. What's up? Maria is here from North Carolina. Michael's here from Brownstown, Indiana. Nice run today on Strava. Thank you. That was very, very so today, if you don't follow me on Strava, go ahead, follow. But today I did a 5-mile run, and it was the first run where I really, since coming back from injury, I mean, I guess I can call what I had an injury. It wasn't a long-term thing. It was just something that knocked me out for the day. It was something that was bad enough that you're not going to be able to run 100 miles on it, which, kind of makes sense. But yeah, today was my first run where I felt like I was running like I was running myself, like I was dictating how the run was going to go, and didn't have any pain like the whole time. And it was beautiful. My pace, for a 5-mile run, was finally similar to what I was doing like months ago, like before I did like started doing like high mileage. So it was great. I had a couple miles towards the end that were like right at 7-minute pace, almost 7:05, 7:10. So that was really fun today. Great run today. Very, very awesome. Christy Wiley's here. What's up from Pennsylvania? How's it going? Chuck runs every day. Hey, from Winnipeg, Canada. Nice. That's awesome. Running every day. I did that for a little bit. Cheryl's here from Alabama. It's finally fall. Yeah, I definitely feel like it's finally fall here as well. But fall in the Midwest is a little bit weird because we don't get like, I mean, I feel like when I was a kid, we used to have like a month where it was really like, you know, those like 60 degrees and still sunny, not raining every day, but just like the best time of year. This is what I remember from as a kid. But I feel like now, like recently, it's just been like we'll get a couple days like that here and there, but geez, I mean, pretty much since a week before my race, so the last 3 weeks, it's rained almost every single day. And it's just been, I mean, yeah. So, you know, who knows? Snowman, hope everyone's doing well. Checking in from Ohio. What's up? John's here from Pamplemousse, I guess. St. Michael Hikes, good evening from Florida. Oh, and Michael, I wanted to tell you thank you for sending me that care package. I just picked it up from the post office, and thank you so much. That was awesome. David from Northern Virginia, getting ready for the Marine Corps 50K. Nice. And like, as always, you know, if you haven't tuned in before, this show is like listener supported. So you ask the questions and we take the show wherever you want it to go. I know a lot of us are probably kind of winding down the season, but you know, whatever your questions you got, running or not, doesn't matter. Jackie is here from rainy Washington State, but the rain doesn't stop me from running. That's awesome. John's here from Virginia Beach, hitting the trails for a month or so, and then back to the Sierras. Whoa. Wow, that's awesome. John's here from Wisconsin. And then Michael says, any thoughts on doing the Jackson County 50/50 on December 4th? Yeah, actually, a lot of thoughts about that. That's one of my favorite races because it's very close. Like, it's only a couple hours away. And that was my first 50 miler. So I feel like I have some really close ties to that race. I've done it a couple times. I don't think, maybe twice, I think. Oh yeah. And then I filmed it one time for the race director. So the weather there is all over the place. Both times I ran it, it was like low 30s temperature wise Fahrenheit. So that means it was freezing. And then the one year I filmed it, it was like in the 60s and everyone was wearing shorts and t-shirts. So, I don't know, like I was thinking, so over the last couple of weeks, I was thinking about this, and what I told myself after IT 100 was, if I can bounce back in a week, then I'll consider maybe trying to do like the 50 mile or the 50K. But if it takes 2 or 3 weeks, I'll just continue to play it by ear. But as of right now, so what's the date? October 26th. So that means we have like maybe 6 weeks or 5.5 weeks or so until it. It would be probably pretty hard to put together. I mean, I guess I could do like a 3 or 4 week training block for a 50 miler, but the 50K might be more reasonable. Not that I don't think I could finish a 50 miler, but yeah, it would be like, I would want to go out there and like feel like I'm running well. So I don't know if I can get back to like running a 50 miler well type of shape in 3 weeks, but maybe a 50K, just go out and have some fun for a couple hours. That would actually be really fun. One of my good friends, Aaron, is running it. He's doing the 50 mile. It's his first 50 miler. He won the 50K like maybe 2 years ago. So he's going to go out there and just crush it. So that'll be awesome. Maybe I'll go out there and just see how many times he laps me. What's up? Alan Murphy's here from Cork, Ireland. What's up? Chase Summit. Dave's here. Next video, Vertix 2 versus Enduro. Maybe. No, I don't know. I feel like I have to do a just Vertix 2 standalone video. But then, yeah, definitely Vertix 2 versus Enduro, because that's kind of like, that's where the competition really kind of stands. It's a good comparison. I have some very strong opinions about both watches. So, yeah. And they probably don't line up with everybody. So I tend to, I don't know, like, I love doing like shoe reviews is like, if we're talking reviews, like that type of stuff is like my passion. Like I love that. I feel like that's kind of like more of my niche that I can kind of like fit into. Gear reviews is also something that I love. Watch reviews are complicated because there's just so much nowadays that they do. And so what I'm trying to do is kind of be a little bit different and just pick a few things that really kind of resonate with me and then talk about those. Kind of like with my Enduro review. I wanted to, because, you know, people like Dave or, you know, DC Rainmaker or anybody else has already done the really comprehensive reviews of the Enduro. And I wanted to pick just kind of like a few of the key points that really made a big difference to me. So that's what I'll do with the Vertix 2 as well, because there's already tons of reviews out there about that. And then I'll do probably a comparison video. That'd be fun before I have to send this back. What's up, Stephen McNeil from Midland, Texas? Cool weather is coming. John says, interested in that video too, or Phoenix 6 versus Enduro. Yeah, I wish I had the Phoenix 6. I don't. I have the Phoenix 3. Maybe we could compare those. It still does charge, and it still works, which is amazing. Graham Angus is here. Angus is here. Graham Angus. Sorry, I think I switched the N and the G in your name. Me and my wife, Lindsay, checking in from Toronto, Canada. What's up? Michael's here from Guayaquil. I don't know if I said that right. Ecuador. Make the best of what's still around. Have you seen the new Dune movie? Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes, I have. And I don't know, like, I am absolutely blown away. Denis Villeneuve, all the actors involved, all the production involved. Oh my gosh, like that movie, like seriously, I saw it in IMAX, and absolutely blew me away. Like, I mean, the first thing you notice right away if you watch it in IMAX is the sound design. At least me, working in that field, it's on another level. Absolutely. Like I've never experienced anything like Dune. And seriously, like this movie, not too much, not to get too like deep about it, but it's like, this movie, like when I walked out of that theater, I was like, oh my gosh, this movie's like changed my life. Like watching that movie in IMAX, just on another level, absolutely incredible. And the story too. I mean, it's, you know, one of the most popular science fiction stories ever. So yes, if I could change like career paths right now, I mean, it would just be like, I'm going straight into like, you know, making movies. Like that's what I want to do. So yeah. But just the experience of it, the visuals, Denny, I mean, he's the best. He's the best out there right now. I mean, hands down. And Hans Zimmer too, just on another level. Yeah, this whole live stream could be about Dune if you want. Aaron Wagner's here. What's up? Checking in from Cincinnati, Ohio. How's it going, man? Hope you're fully recovered. It says, oh, I think I found my second hunter to sign up for, the Mogian Monster in Arizona. Nice. That one, yeah, that's going to be very different than Indiana Trail. But yeah, that would be so cool. I've really wanted to do that race too, and they just changed the course this year, so it's supposed to be a little bit different. Mango Runner, what's up, Ryan? How's the recovery going? Awesome. I hope your recovery is going well as well. Actually, both these guys, Aaron and Mango Runner, we both, all three of us were at the Indiana Trail 100. They finished it. Yeah, recovery's going fine. Like my body was totally recovered, within a few days. Like I was ready to run again, like mentally and physically, easily by a week after. Because my second lap, I mean, you got to remember it was mostly walking. So I ran about 25 miles, pretty good, like 4.5 hours. And then the second lap was like over 8 hours. So it was mostly walking. So my body was fine afterwards. It was just my knee. It was just messed up. And then like a little bit later, I noticed a weird thing in my left hip that's kind of still there. And I think it was because I probably changed my stride. I know I changed my stride. I know, those last 35 miles, something was different with my hip, and it felt like it still feels kind of weird, but it'll clear up soon. So everything else is fine though. Like I said, not a single blister, not a single, barely sore. Like my quads were a little sore walking around the hotel the next day. But, yeah. Eva Belt's here from Placerville, California. What's up? John True Love's in the house. Oh my God, the new Dune was a bit of a letdown. Just when it started to get good, it ended. Okay, there we go. Okay. Yes. Yeah, it's only half the story. Yeah. Man, that's awesome that you got to see it. I thought those were fighting words, actually. Lou Matos, sorry. Yo from Avon Lake. What's up? Nick is here. It's only the first half of the book. Letdown was on purpose. Yep. And I think the story structure, they did a really good job because there is a character arc with Paul. I'm not going to give any spoilers for those of you that have not seen it. But there is a solid character arc. I mean, because he goes through several throughout the books, and in this first movie, it could stand alone. If Legendary and Warner Brothers decided not to, but they just announced today that they greenlit it. So the Dune 2 is coming out. Dune Part 2 is coming out October 2023. So we only have 2 years to wait. I just got to figure out how to get on the production crew for that movie. Whoops, I already got that one. Matt LeGrand, what's up from Camas, Washington? Am I saying that right, Matt? Camas. What's up? Thanks for watching my video today and commenting. It's always fun seeing, other fellow YouTubers supporting each other. Tim says, so keen for Dune, probably an old topic, but any tips for the dreaded shave? Squirrel's nut butter. And also, something that also I've found success with is wearing a spandex layer or a tight-ish layer underneath your shorts, as a base layer. I did a video a couple weeks ago on a combination of those from T8. They make a really solid one. A lot of people commented on the Path Projects version of the same thing, so I need to try those out. But kind of everybody does a version of it. I mean, I've had a pair of Ultra shorts for 4 years that are exactly the same. It's just a layer of spandex and then your shorts on top. So that also helps with wicking away sweat, other moisture, if you go through some rain or something. What's up, Matt said, I was just thinking about watching Dune, worth it in IMAX. Yes. Oh my gosh, yes. Go see it in IMAX. The only thing that I would mention though is that it is very loud in IMAX, but that's on purpose, and that's how a lot of IMAX movies are. But this one is especially loud, and some of the battle sequences, and also some of the score, some of Hans Zimmer's score was very loud, and like I'm very sensitive to that because, like I said, and you guys know, like I work in sound production, and so like I can tell, like you're not going to get any hearing damage from it. Obviously, like that would not be like I don't know if it's not like it wouldn't be like illegal, but it wouldn't be like good practice for a movie theater to make it. And anyway, IMAX has very strict rules about like how their systems sound and what they look like and everything. So you're not going to get any hearing damage. Don't worry. But it is very loud for several sequences of it. But the images, oh my gosh, like the other thing with IMAX is that not all of this movie is shot on an IMAX camera. Most of the stuff outdoors is, but some of the indoor scenes and a lot of the dialogue is shot on like an Arri Alexa LF. So I think, and the reason why is usually because IMAX cameras are very loud. They're just beasts. They're huge and they're loud, and so a lot of times dialogue sequences are very difficult to do with an IMAX camera. And that's why, like, when you see someone like Christopher Nolan or something film an entire movie in IMAX, it's like, it's pretty impressive, like how they can actually get the dialogue to come through. Like the people that work in the sound design on these movies are just like geniuses. But then also there's a lot of overdubbing that takes place if you are filming something like that. So that's the only thing, is like sometimes the aspect ratio will cut down in Dune. Like I said, for some of the indoor, really quiet talking scenes, you don't really need the IMAX like full scale anyway. But everything that matters, like all the outside stuff, all the special effects, like that's all IMAX. So it's seriously like floor to ceiling, like 30 feet tall. I don't know how tall an IMAX screen is, but massive. And I was kind of like right in the middle, which is great. But you do have to look down and you look up and left and right. It's like, yeah, it's good. It's good. Christy Wiley says, Dune was so good I couldn't peel my eyes away from the screen. I know. I was just sitting there and like I was just like smiling like the whole time because it was so beautiful, and it was just like, it was an amazing experience. Like I was smiling, I was like laughing, I was crying. I think I did cry. Yeah. We'll see. What questions do you guys have? Brett says the first 30 miles of the new Mogi and course are absolutely ridiculous. That's good to hear. Nice. Brian Sharp is here from Newcastle, Indiana. Ever do OPSF 50K? Oh, yes, I have. That was actually, I've got a video on the channel about it. That was a great race. I mean, it's very muddy. But yeah, it's a really good race. Really good people. The course is like, it's not like super crazy. It's a good course. But the biggest thing is that since it's in March and the types of trails that they are, like, it's going to be muddy, going to be really muddy in certain parts. Like there was a lot that it was like, there were long sections where you just can't see your feet every time they go into the ground. And then the hard part about that is that you actually have to be really careful too, because a lot of times your foot will go down, and if it's not super soft mud, like there's different types of mud out there. There's, the type where your foot goes in, it just goes like straight down. But then there's mud that's like kind of not so soft. And so when you step in, you might step in somebody else's footstep, and your foot slides to like go into their imprint. And so a lot of it's not like you have to be kind of careful in some parts, but that makes it really fun. You're super dirty and messy afterwards. I think John throws his shoes away after every OPSF as like a celebration. But yeah, you're messy, you're muddy. It's hard because of the mud. Like the course, if it was really smooth, just really smooth trails and not muddy, the course wouldn't be that crazy. I forget how much elevation gain there is, but you're constantly going up and down, constantly going through mud. So yeah, it's a good course. I mean, it's a good race though. Really good people. Tim Watson says Dune isn't out until December 2nd in Australia. Oh, it's too bad. But yeah, definitely see it on opening night. Justin says, do you ever get into any times that you just don't feel like training? If so, how do you get through it? Yeah, for sure. And I'm kind of like, to be honest with you guys, like I'm kind of in a spot like that a little bit right now. Like if I don't kind of start training again or kind of start getting excited about something, I could definitely see myself kind of like sliding into this sort of slump where I'm just like, like several days throughout the week or maybe one or two, I'll just be like, yeah, I'm not running today. Like, just don't feel like it. And that's kind of like, yeah, it's not a bad thing. It's a really good thing to let your body rest. But if you think it's more like a mental side, and you think it's kind of like a lack of motivation, like my opinion, motivation is like kind of like hard to manufacture and can be sort of like unreliable if you do that. And so my best advice is to actually either find accountability like through someone else or through yourself, like just create a calendar and try to stick with it. One really great thing to do would be to just say, you know what, I'm going to run every day for 21 days because they say habits take 21 days to form. And so even if that means just tying up your shoes and going outside and going to the edge of the block and then being like, okay, I'm done, turning back around, at least you did something. Just get outside every day or get on your treadmill or do something every day for 3 weeks, 21 days, and then see how you feel after that. Could be a good experiment. But yeah, I definitely suffer from times like that, and a lot of times it's right around this time of the year because it's starting to get cold, and I just do not like running outside in the cold. The mornings, I mean, most mornings, like the mornings recently have been like high 30s, low 40s, so it's cold out there. I mean, it's not like freezing or like winter yet, but it's definitely cold out there, and you do not like, at least myself, like I don't like running in that type of weather. You got to put on too many clothes. Yeah, it's cold. But yeah, I definitely go through times like that. And so, for me, the best thing that I find success with is like trying to put a string together of wins. Like say I'm going to run every day for a couple weeks, or just put a calendar schedule together. Like if you're not ready to at least run every day or move your body every day in a little bit of a way, just put a calendar together and say, 4 days a week. This is what I'm doing. Before work, during my lunch hour, or whatever. That helps me. Tim Watson says, just ordered some T8s. So good to hear they were good. Yeah, I like them a lot. They are like, I would say that they're not, how can I say this? I don't think they're going to be, and I mentioned this in the video, I don't think they're going to be the most durable shorts ever. But they are, they're good. Like they're good for racing in, good for getting your long runs in. But I don't think they will be I don't know. I don't know how long they're going to last, which is kind of unfortunate because I really like them a lot. Let's see. Drew H says, Ryan, I finished my 4th marathon last week in Detroit, breaking 4 again, 3:53. Nice. No chafing and full amounts of body glide. Happy Tuesday. That's awesome, Drew. So cool. Breaking 4 hours is solid. St. Michael Hike says, this past weekend race, I used Squirrels on Butter and Trail Toes, but had to ditch my pack after my first loop due to my collarbone being literally raw. I've had that happen before too. Never had that happen before, but not sure why it was so bad. Yes. Okay. So I don't know exactly what, I don't know exactly what happened with me, but I've had, this pack, Solomon 5L or something. It's the one that came out this year, like in the spring, and I ran like every weekend with it for like a while leading up to Cruel Jewel. And then I did Cruel Jewel, the whole time, never took it off. And then since then I did some races, or not races. I did a bunch of long runs. I did when I went out to Western States to Pace John, I did, that run in it. But then like randomly, like 6 weeks before IT 100, I go out and do a 25-mile run, and it like cut me. Like it rubbed on my neck, like right here, so bad that it literally literally cut me, and I think I'm gonna have a scar from it. And I don't know why that happened. Like, I'm pretty experienced with running vests, and I could not get it in a position where it wasn't just like rubbing right up on my neck. So yeah, I haven't worn it since that day. So I understand your pain, and I don't know why that happens sometimes. I'm like, it happened no matter if the bottles were full or empty. I shifted stuff around from one side to the other. Like, nothing I could do would fix it. I don't know. I thought maybe it had to do with the shirt I was wearing, because I don't think I'd ever worn that shirt with that vest, but I haven't tried it since, so I don't know. But yeah, if I do wear a vest in the future, like, I will probably try and get a shirt that has a little bit of a collar that in a pinch I could like at least like pull up and like try to like block whatever's going on over there. Michael Powell says, OPSF is a beautiful course, but expected to be very muddy due to it being horse trails. It's also a cool design with the lollipop course. Yeah, the lollipop is a sweet design. I like that a lot. Do you have any traditional races, example turkey trot, 5K or whatever? No, I don't know the last time I have. Like, usually, so I don't have a whole lot of like the family that we always get together with and everything, like not a whole lot of runners. And so actually none really, I don't think. Maybe a couple. But we typically, like, I never grew up doing any of those races. And so like a turkey trot or something on a Thanksgiving morning or something like that, it's just like never in the plans. But maybe, I think maybe once my kids get older, old enough to do stuff like that, we could probably do something like that. John says, yeah, I trash them. I have plenty of old shoes. Yeah. After that OPSF mud, and you also don't know what else is in that mud because they're horse trails. Zach Fairchild says, have you ever considered doing a 24-hour event or a Biggs backyard format? Yes. Some exciting news about that. I shared this last week. So I have done a backyard event before in the past. It was awesome. Loved it. I went there for a specific purpose. Like it was 4 weeks before, it was 4 weeks before one of my 100-milers a couple years ago. And I was like, I'm just going there to run 50K and then I'm done. Gonna go home. And did it. But it was really fun. But my friend Matt is putting together a race, and I'm helping him with it on April 2nd. It's going to be called Grind on the Grid. So we're actually organizing a backyard style ultra marathon, which is going to be awesome. We're trying to find like sponsors now for it and stuff. But yeah, it'll be on Ultra Sign Up soon. It's going to be in Indiana. It's kind of like just west of Indy, sort of. I don't know. It's kind of out in the country, and it's going to be a lot of it is going to be like a country road, and there's going to be a couple turns, and that's the reason why it's called Grind on the Grid. Laz actually came up with that name for us, because you're gonna go out and you're gonna like turn right, and then you're gonna turn right again, and then there's a turnaround and you come back. So the grid is like this like kind of square out there in the country. And so like for a lot of the race, you're going to be able to see all the runners, which is going to be really interesting. And it's, that's like basically what they do at Biggs. Like there's, throughout the night, there's the road section that they run. You know, these type of races have all sorts of different courses. And this is the one that, worked. Like Matt was able to find this awesome location. It's actually this like really kind of like fancy barn that they have weddings at most weekends out of the year, but we were able to find this weekend, April 2nd, that has nothing going on there. And yeah, it's gonna be a blast. It's gonna be I don't know exactly how much work is going to be like needed on the day of. Like, I don't know if Matt and I are going to be able to run it. But we'll see. But yeah, it's going to be pretty low key. We're going to, you know, the first year, there's like no money yet. So it's going to be pretty low key, but it's going to be fun, and it's going to be a good time. So yes, I have ran one before, and actually working on putting one together, like the first one in Indiana. Justin says, I appreciate the insight. Thank you. You're welcome. Lou says, for what it's worth, my Path Projects liner shorts combo is impressive, and the durability scale. Nice. That's good to hear. So yeah, check out Path Projects if you're looking for durability. If you want something that's like definitely designed for racing, T8 is what I would suggest. Simon says shoe reviews. Yes. Is this the channel, and why did I subscribe to it? There we go. Yeah, lots of shoe reviews coming, because like leading up to the race, I think I've said this before on some of my live streams, but leading up to the race, the last couple weeks were just like, I was like really, really tired all the time, just from running so much, and then just kind of like all the planning that goes into getting yourself ready to get yourself to a race. Yeah, like there was a little bit of extra planning and sort of stuff because I was planning on having a crew there and family members there. So I was kind of trying to organize that side of it too, or at least like have that stuff dialed in. I actually really prefer doing races on my own, like completely on my own. But, well, and the reason why is because it's a lot less work to plan. You can just, as long as you get yourself ready and you get the stuff you need for the race and you put it in the right places, that you're done. Like, and that, like, I don't know. That's just easier to do. But you have a higher chance of success, and you have a lot more encouragement and everything if you bring people with you. So there's pros and cons to both. It's just a lot easier to do it all yourself sometimes. But yeah, so there was just kind of like a lot of extra stuff going on during those couple weeks leading up to it. And it's always kind of like stressful for everybody in the house, like when you're getting ready for a race. So yeah, That's why I didn't have a whole lot of like shoe review videos. Plus I was also running most of my miles in like just a couple pairs of shoes, like trying to make sure that they were going to work for the race. So I wasn't just like using a different shoe every day. But now all that's coming. I've got probably 6 or 7 shoes that are like plus 100 miles in them. And I need to put those reviews out. Need to get them together. Got a couple watches like this Vertix 2, and then I've got the Wahoo Rival that I need to put a review together for because they sent it to me. So I need to do that. But yeah, we'll see. I think things will start flowing a little bit smoother now. Getting that Enduro video out was kind of a bear because it was a lot. Oh yeah, Christy, I saw your question about the Backyard Ultra. You probably asked that right before I started talking about it. Lou says, April 2nd, bummer. I'm attempting my first 100. Your backyard would have been cool. First run over 50 miles too. Excited that you're making that happen. Awesome. Well, good luck at your first 100. Aaron says, I watched your Enduro video and looked at other more premium watches, but I love the lightness of the Coros Pace 2. Yeah. What do you think would push me to the Vertix Enduro level? Battery for a 200 miler? Yeah, honestly, my opinion on all these watches is that it's really unfortunate that they're so expensive because it's really better to have 2 watches at least. One like a really small and light one for your daily running, and then like the battery type watch that it's only exists because of its battery, like the Enduro or the Vertix. But like both the Enduro and the Vertix, like I don't particularly like running every day in because they're just big and they're heavy. The Vertix especially. The Enduro with the band on was 60 grams. But like when you compare that to something like the Apple Watch, it's like 45. Like the Pace 2 is somewhere around like, I think that's like under 40. I think it's like 39 grams or something. So, I mean, the Polar Vantage V2 is like somewhere around 50 as well. So you get a lot of these kind of like more daily watches or watches that are like geared more towards just simply road running that are a lot more comfortable to wear. But they don't have the battery life that can last yet. For a 100 miler, or especially not a 200 miler. But yeah, then you get something like the Vertix, which is a beast. It's like over 90 grams. So, I mean, you're talking like, you know, you could put like 2 or 3 watches together, and that's how much this weighs. And so, but yeah, if you're going to do a 100 miler or a 200 miler and you don't want to charge your battery, like you kind of have to have one of these. I think the Enduro would probably be great for most people doing 200 milers. You'd probably and the reason why is because you're going to sleep several times, especially if your name is Mike McKnight and you're doing these races in 50 hours, you're not going to sleep, and you can wear whatever you want. But if you're like most people who are finishing these in between like 85 to 100 hours, you're going to be sleeping several times during these races. I've been to a handful of them, and so I've got firsthand information on this. You're going to be sleeping a lot. And so it's not a big deal to just pull your watch off and plug it into a charger while you sleep for like an hour or something. And most of these watches, you put it on a charger for an hour, and it's like almost back up to 100% already. So you're good to go. That's what I would recommend. I don't think you need to like really, like, the battery life is not the end all be all unless it's complicating things in your, like, in finishing the race that you want to finish. Where, you know, charging it midway or something would be complicated. But even in a 100 miler, it's not a big deal. Like, you just get one of those little tiny USB batteries, take it off, like, fasten it with the band, to your vest, plug it in, just let it sit there for an hour, take it off, put it back on your wrist. It's good to go. Right. So yeah, I would say, I mean, honestly, that's the only reason why I would really encourage anyone to look into this price range of the Vertix or the Enduro. Aaron, it's for battery life. Yeah. Jackie J says, that sounds fun. And then Brian Sharp says, grind on the grid. How do we volunteer? Good question. We're going to have a website soon. Cause to get on Ultra Sign Up, you have to have a website. I think other than Facebook, which I am like deleting Facebook soon, by the way, newsflash. Just with everything that's coming out about it. Like, it's like, we always knew it was like horrible, and now it's like confirmed. It's like, okay, I'm done. I don't like it anyway. It's not on my phone anymore. I still have the account out there, but yeah, you have to have a website that's not Facebook. So that'll be coming soon, and then volunteer options will be through there. That would be awesome if we got some volunteers. And I do think that this race, because the way a backyard format is set up is it's roughly 4 miles, a little bit over 4 miles per hour. So that if you run for 24 hours, you have exactly 100 miles. So depending on who shows up to this race, it could last for 2 or 3 days. Most likely, it would be somewhere. I mean, I would think that the last person standing would probably be, for a first year race in Indiana, who knows, somewhere in between that, like 100K to 100 mile, I would guess. I think someone will probably go, like 60, 70 miles or something. But the race is over when there's only one person that completes the last loop. Like, you don't just go on forever if there's only one person left. So, yeah. But that'd be awesome, Brian, if you wanted to volunteer. Brian Steinberg says, how are you doing with meeting your goals for YouTube this year? I have a huge backlog of recorded stuff I need to edit. Yeah, I actually need to go back and sorry guys. I need to go back and review that YouTube goals video that I put out last year. I don't know. I feel like I'm doing okay. Like, I feel like so YouTube is always like a hard thing because it's, there's different components to it because you have to do the work to actually plan out the videos and record the videos and edit the videos and post the videos and do the thumbnails. Like, there's all that work, but then there's also the like mental side of it and like definitely the mental health side of it that is a lot of stress on its own. And so I feel like this year has been a little bit more about kind of like becoming more aware of all of that side of it and trying to deal with it a little bit better and trying not to get caught up in like the rat race that it can become, especially when you start to like, especially when you start getting into like product type stuff and you start dealing with some brands. That can become that definitely feels like a lot more like work. But it's fun. I mean, I love it. But it can be really stressful, especially so like say you get a watch or a pair of shoes or something and you're working on your review and then you see a bunch of other people start posting on it and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm late. Like, there's so much stress that is involved in it. So I feel like this year I've done a lot better about being able to pull back on that and just be like, this is my channel. Like, I put out what I want when I want. And if it's one video a week plus a live stream, that's fine for that week. If it's 5 videos plus a live stream, great. So At the end of last year, I tried daily vlogging, and I did it for a month. I did it for almost all of December. And that was a really fun experience. But definitely like not sustainable, while living the life that I'm living right now, with work and family, and being able to put out like the type of videos I want. So yeah, I feel like, I guess I need to review the goals, that I set out last year, but I feel like I've made pretty good progress this year. Aaron Wagner says pace 2 is 29 grams and it will go 26 to 30 hours. Yeah, I think the 29 grams is without a band, but the nylon band I think only adds like maybe 9 or 10 ish. So I think that's because it can be kind of deceiving, to just post, and some companies do that. You gotta be careful. Just post the weight of the watch itself. That's where like this one, the Vertix 2, they did that, but the band, yeah, you have to wear the whole thing. So I don't know, Aaron, I'm not saying 29 grams might be with everything, but I think that's just the watch only. Justin says, still love my Phoenix 6. Think I'll wait until they add maps to the Enduro before I spend that kind of money. Yeah, and that's the thing, that's like, so for me, I personally wouldn't use all the map features very much. Like, definitely not my day-to-day. If I'm going to a trail system that I know, I'm not going to use it. Like, there's no point. The times that it would be useful is when you like are trying to explore a new place, or in a race, it can be useful. And so like my biggest thing is that it's not like it's a feature that's missing that I would be using all the time. So it's not affecting me in that way. It's only affecting me in the way it's like, I paid like $900 for this watch, like, and you're not putting this feature in it. I don't know. It's a little frustrating. It's like buying a car and it just has a tape player. You're like, really? Just give me the rest of it. I don't know. Drew H says April 2nd is actually open, not coaching that weekend. This might work. Yes, that's awesome. That'd be fun. Watch Ultra sign up and social media and stuff. We'll be posting about it. Definitely, it's going to be a good one. I think that's also the weekend after OPSF. So that'll be fun. It was actually kind of scary, because we were looking, like Matt was talking to the person that owns the property. And originally the only date that was open was the same weekend as OPSF. And we were like, oh gosh, at least like, yeah, it was not looking good. And then, they got back to us and said, oh, actually it's the weekend after. And we're like, yes. So that's good. Nathan says, Nate from San Antonio here. Any reason why you wouldn't recommend something cheaper like the Garmin Instinct Solar? No reason. I think anything from Garmin is going to be good. You just, honestly, all you have to do is kind of like look at what features it has and just make sure that the features that are important to you are included. And what's missing, you're not going to be like too disappointed about. But I think, like if I had one watch, and was on a budget and was just for my daily running and everything, like I think something like even like a Garmin like 55 or even the 45, I saw that on sale for $120 this week. And I almost just bought one, just to have like a nice small Garmin to run with during my like weekday runs, because honestly my favorite watch for weekday runs right now is the Polar Vantage V2, just because it's so comfortable. It's lightweight, it fits nice. Yeah, I think that honestly, I think you can get like a really solid watch for not much money. But you just have to make sure that it has like things that you're actually, the things that are important to you that you know you're going to use. Just kind of take a look at them. I mean, the only reason why someone would get a Vertix or an Enduro is if they're doing 100 milers and they really don't want the battery to die. Like they don't want to have to charge it. Other than that, there's plenty of other options out there that you can save some money on. Yeah, John says you should do watch reviews based on price and features. Enduro's way overpriced. Yeah, it is. It's like I don't get it. Zach says I bought the Coros Apex in early 2020. When should I start consider replacing it? I would imagine there's a shelf life to it. It works great for my needs. I don't know. I don't think there's really a shelf life unless you're going to try and sell it. But I would just, when it starts getting so annoying that you're like having to charge it a lot more often than you want to, that's the only reason why I would consider replacing a GPS watch that you like. Especially the Apex, that's a good watch from what I know. I don't have it. But yeah, if it's missing some features that you want, then yeah, something to consider. But, I got down to my Phoenix 3 that I had for a couple years. I did, all my Ironman training with it, lots of triathlons, Ironman Louisville, did some ultras with it, did a couple 50 milers. And then it was still working fine. It was just, it got to the point where, it wouldn't hold a charge long enough to finish, a 50 miler. And so at that point, that's when I was like, all right, I'm going to start looking for something else. And then, I think, ironically, right as I was looking around, that's when Suunto sent me the Suunto 9 Barrow. So that was perfect timing, and that was great. It just doesn't last for 100 milers, which is unfortunate. I don't know about the Suunto 9, the new one they have, but the one that came out 4 years ago or something, the Barrow, that battery life, it's only 17 or 18 hours. Justin says, all hail the buckle cam. Okay, yes, here we go. Buckle cam. Look at that. I actually dusted it off too. I don't know if I got the buckles in the same order or not when it went up, but yeah, it's all looking good over there. All good in buckle cam world. Sean says, I've got the Polar Ignite and it does everything I need it to now. 50 miler coming up in mid-December, so the battery life will be fine for that, but not for 100. Phoenix 6 will drop $100 when the 7 drops. Yeah. I don't know when the 7's going to come out, though. That's the problem. Who knows? People have been, there's a website out there that's Phoenix Watch or something like that. And all of the Garmin Phoenix rumors are up there. People thought the Enduro was the Phoenix 7 before it came out, and now it's been out for 7 months or something, 7 or 8 months. So I would assume maybe next year, but I don't know. Probably not before Christmas. Do any of the companies let you get a new battery, not use a replacement send you free? I don't know. I would think that they probably phase out a lot of the models, though. Maybe if your battery went, I think they would probably replace your battery on a current generation. But if it's a past generation, probably not. John says, I love that, Matt, and you picked April for the race. Indiana weather that time of year is wildly unpredictable. Thoughts of IT100 come to mind. Yes. And this will be as long as there's no lightning, we'll be fine. because only a small portion of it is trail and then some of it's gravel. But yeah, it's going to be great. Hopefully there's a ton of wind and rain and yeah, just all for you, John. I'm just kidding. It'll be a really good tune-up race for anybody, really. Like looking like coming out of the winter. I mean, OPSF was always like last couple years, being in March, seems like a good time to test your winter training. This will be a good one too. To just see like, what's the engine look like this year? All right, I'm going to start wrapping this up. A couple more questions. Get them in if you have any questions. We got Snowman. I need a more comfortable couch before I spend that much money on a watch. I just got that joke. My wife would probably lock me out. LOL. Yeah. Yeah, probably. Brian Steinberg says, how many watches do you still have? I keep a lot of the watches. I've given a handful away. A couple. But I keep a lot of them just to like have for comparison purposes. But yeah, I have a few. I have a few hanging around. But yeah, like I said, with the Vertix, I'm not like I have to send this back pretty soon, so I got to wrap up my review of it. So that'll be coming soon. Also, I think I'm gonna do a video on the new AirPods. I just got those in today. We'll see how they work with running. Because I've had the original version for a couple years, and they never worked for running for me because they always fell out of my ears. So we'll see if the version 3 is any better, or if you have to go with the Pro if you want to run with your AirPods. But that's gonna be it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for everyone that joined, everyone that asked questions. You guys are awesome. Yeah, as always, this will be loaded up as a podcast. And actually, I just finished some new podcast art. So I'm going to show you guys that now. Let me see if I can pull up here we go. The podcast art is coming up in 3, 2, 1. There we go. You guys can see it. It's showing like half of my desktop too. But it's the same like logo and everything, but it's just on a cool like backdrop and a couple different colors. A little bit of depth to it, some shadows, some glow, good stuff. So yeah, that's a new podcast logo. If you look anywhere, I got to figure out how to get out of this view. There we go. Are we out yet? No, we're still in preview mode. Let's go back to live mode. And then, okay, there we go. I'm back. But yeah, go check out iTunes, Spotify, I think Stitcher, I think wherever you listen to podcasts, you can find. I've been uploading these shows weekly, usually on Wednesday mornings, so that you can listen to them on the go. You don't have to like pull up YouTube and like stream YouTube like while you're running or something. Jackie says, I'm going to watch your Garmin Enduro review after this. Awesome. Go get it. Sean Robertson says, real quick, have you tried any of the Hoka carbon plated shoes? Carbon X is pretty cheap these days. Yeah, I haven't tried the Carbon X, but I have like 150 miles on these Bondi X's. And like, they've been great. I loved them. Like I got them like, I don't know. That's another thing where Hoka probably hates me now, but they sent me those like a couple of months ago, and I just haven't been able to get a review out. And I've got like 150 miles on them, so I like them a lot. I've not tried the Carbon X, but yeah, they did a good job with the Bondi. Bondi X is pretty good. Aaron says, looking forward to your AirPod reviews. Thanks for another good stream. Awesome. Joseph says, better late than never. Rewatching now. Hello from Michigan, everyone. Awesome. What's up, Joseph? All right, guys. Thank you again so much for joining. This is it. Check this replay out later on YouTube if you didn't watch it all the way through, or check out the podcast. And yeah, I will see you guys again next week. Thanks for joining.